Now, also Bernie Sanders, who of course has championed national minimum wage higher, well, he of course, part of his bailiwick and a big part of his selling is to focus on the working class. I think you and I would agree that his solutions are not always where the smartest people should go, but he's trying to ring a warning up at the moment that the working class is up for grabs and the working class is not backing in Biden at the moment, not backing in Democrats. Put simply, he thinks that the Democrats should be way in front, but Trump's still well and truly in the race, and we could talk about that all day. Do you think there's a point in that about the shifting demographics, that the working class is not necessarily about one party anymore? In fact, it may well be trending towards the Republicans.
Yes, look, I think it's true. It was a fascinating speech he gave. It's worth watching about a week ago in New Hampshire. I quite like Bernie Sanders. I mean, I don't agree with a lot of his conclusions, but I mean, he's a good speaker. He's honest, and you know, he's one of those rare politicians who you can tell he actually believes what he's saying very passionately. And you know, he's just, you know, he's making the point that there is this, you know, this flip going on where the Democrats are becoming the party of the wealthy, and the Republicans are clearly becoming the party of the poor. And you can see that clearly in congressional districts. I mean, I was quite shocked to find out that of the top 20 congressional districts by income, 16 of them are now Democrat and only 4 Republican. And overwhelmingly, in the bottom half, I think 62% I calculated of all the poor districts are Republican. So that's a huge change from 40, 50 years ago, and there's various reasons for that. But I mean, the more immediate question, I think, for both parties is to try to win over the swing voters in the working class, many of whom don't pay much attention to politics. They don't read the Wall Street Journal, they don't read the New York Times. And I think, you know, various factors, you know, basically push them away. And one of those might be cultural issues. I mean, I think that's a real reason why a lot of lower income Americans, especially immigrant families, are no longer so drawn to the Democrats, even if their economic policies may be better for them in the short run. But all the talk of, you know, transgender bathrooms and you know, transgender women and all this stuff, it can be very alienating for, you know, for some conservative lower class people.
Yeah, I'm with you. Got about 90 seconds left before we lose the satellite here. So I want to quickly ask about the fundamental here, where you've got more than half the country who says Trump should have been charged, and of course has been on multiple fronts. Now you've got more than half the country saying the president is too old. As the outsider who is now the insider, it is the fundamental weirdness of the American system where the choices that America will have in the next few months are unenviable, which means we're going to have elections about pretending that the sky will fall in if you elect him and the sky will fall in if you elect him, but then normal people can look at both and see problems, right?
Yeah, look, I think that's right. I mean, there's so much hysterical comment in the US politics. I mean, the reality is the sky's not going to fall in if Trump's re-elected. It's not going to be the end of democracy. It's not going to be a dictatorship. That's just all complete rubbish. And, you know, likewise, the US is not going to, you know, turn into a communist state if Joe Biden's re-elected. I mean, you know, I think the lesson from January 6th is the strength of the US Constitution, that you can have people doing wacky things, you can have people protesting, but at the end of the day, the Constitution survived. And I think, you know, I think that's the positive message that should be getting out there more.
Agree completely. Lovely to talk to you, Adam. All the best, and we'll talk to you again very soon from Washington.
Paul.
Thanks, mate.
Indeed.